Next, we actually have a few more operators. We have the incremental operators and the decremental operators. So assuming that I is our integer variable, we have I plus plus and I minus and I minus minus. We also have plus plus I and minus minus I. So these are pretty straightforward. I'll just give you a really quick example of it. So I, let's say, is equal to 0. So when we do I plus plus, all that's doing simply is adding 1 to I. So here, if I were to do %d \n I, we will get 1 printed out. Bam. I is 1 right there. Well, let's change this. Say I is. Okay, so that simply does that. And if we were to do plus plus I, that does the exact same thing. It just adds 1 to I. So at this point, I would be 2. Makes sense? And I minus minus does the exact opposite. It subtracts 1, and minus minus I does the exact same thing. So at this point, I would be equal to 0. And that's pretty straightforward. Most of the times you'll see this by itself. You won't see like 10 plus 5 plus I plus plus, but sometimes you do. So I know you guys are thinking, well, if I plus plus and plus plus I do the same exact thing, why do we need them? Well, the answer is because they don't have the same precedence. So for example, let's make another integer. Z is equal to I plus plus times, well, not times, let's do plus, keep it simple, plus 5. So at this point, I is equal to 0, and we're adding 5 to it. Let's see what we get. Oh, I'm sorry, we need to print Z here. Oops, this should be D. Okay, let's print Z and see what we get. We get Z is equal to 5. So how did that happen? Well, we get 0 plus 5. It seems like this didn't do anything, or it didn't do its job. Well, actually it did, right? So if we were to print F, let's see, %d \n, if we were to print I here, we should get I is equal to 1. Let's check this out. Bam. So basically what happened was I is equal to 0, and we did 0 plus 5, and Z is equal to 5. This plus plus didn't happen until after the equal sign. So the plus plus has a strictly lower precedence than the equal sign, meaning it happens very last. So in order of precedence here, the first thing that happens is the plus sign. The second thing that happens is the equal sign, and the very last thing that happens is the plus plus, because it came after the I value. So 0 plus 5 gets us 5 here for Z, which is what we got, and then I was incremented by 1 after Z got its value, which is why I is equal to 1. So let's change this around, and let's do plus plus I. Now I'll give you guys the answer beforehand. The first thing that's going to happen is this plus plus operator. So I is equal to 0. I is immediately going to be set to 1. We're actually changing the value of I. So I is going to be 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Z is going to be 6, and I is going to be 1. There you go. So that is the difference between plus plus, before the variable, or after. And the same with minus minus. And I'll let you guys experiment with that if you don't believe me. So we're gonna update PEMDAS a little bit. So on the first level, we have parentheses, we have we have plus plus, our variable, and minus minus, our variable. These things all have the same precedence. They happen before everything else within an equation. Then we have multiplication, division, and modulo. These things all happen second, only to the top three. Then we have plus or addition, and we have subtraction. And then we have the equal sign or the assignment operator. This one always happens last, and the only thing it happens before would be the post-decrement and post-increment operators. So this is really what it looks like in computer science. Parentheses, pre-decrementation and pre-incrementation would be these two: multiply, division, modulo, plus minus, assignment operator. You could call it equals, but that's not really accurate in computer science. And then we have post, increment, and decrement operators. So make sure you guys practice with this, and I'll catch you guys next time, where I'm not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but it'll be something fun. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks.